This is the second episode. I'm your host, Pieter. Thank you so much for joining me. You get cute with it. You're like, you mean like a fun song for me when I'm like in my shower? Oh gosh. Episode 1 of The Highest Regard. Here we go.
She on the beat.
Some people chilling, we've got some people working. Cool. We've got a few topics we'd like to speak about. I saw some crazy things on Twitter this week. I mean, speaking about the whole Twitter evolution over the last few weeks / month or two requires a whole episode. So let's sprinkle some Elon Musk, some drama, some politics in there, and we'll get to that a bit later. Other than that, we've got some crazy things coming up. The World Cup, I'm quite excited about that. World Cup 2022 starts the 19th of November, I think. Ends the 20th of December or other way around. That's quite exciting. South African, of course, we don't have any team to support at the World Cup once again. So that kind of sucks. Default teams. So my surname is Dutch, so I tend to support the Dutch if South Africa is not there. As a second team, my first team is always any African country. Cameroon, Senegal, let's go! I think Egypt's also going, I'm not sure. We'll check the groups out or something, but I know Senegal has a good chance. Sadio Mane is playing. They've got the craziest midfield, Checo Kouyaté, Ndidi, I don't know if Ndidi is playing. Maybe I'm getting my players mixed up, but yeah, crazy midfield. Quite excited about their progression. World Cup, other than that, who has a big chance? Personally, a lot of teams have great quality, so I think this could be the year of the underdog. We've seen a lot of big teams winning in the last while. France, Germany, Brazil a bunch of years ago. We had Spain, Italy. So obviously not in that order, there's a different order of winning. But this year I think we might see an underdog do it. So I don't know. What do you think? Anyone supporting a weird or awesome team in the house? Tawana, what do you think? Any team that you think will push through other than the ones I mentioned?
Japan.
Interesting.
Is Japan in the World Cup, right?
I'm not sure. I know Korea, South Korea is in the World Cup with Son Heung-min from Tottenham.
Song Heung-min from Tottenham.
Yes.
Okay.
So he might be a bit of a threat if he plays well and finds form for his national team.
But I think African team actually, Senegal.
Yeah.
I think
Senegal. Damn straight. I think they've got a stacked team.
They got a very.
And they were the 2021 or 2020 AFCON champs as well. They've got quite a good culture of winning going on right now. Younger guys, some older guys.
That's true.
They've got some crazy wingers. I can't remember the other guy's name, but he played for Watford, very good as well. So
From Senegal.
yes. I'm drawing a blank on the name. We'll make sure that Jason's better set up with a computer so he can Google all these things because
The guy from
my brain can only go that quick.
literally cutting.
You're cutting.
The guy from who played for who? Who played for what?
I think he played for Watford.
Yeah.
Good winger. I just can't remember his name. I see his face in front of my eyes, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, Senegal, really exciting team. I'm excited to see their progression. Jason, who do you support? Any other team than us? Do you even know who's in the World Cup?
No, I don't, to be honest.
Okay.
Because
You're honest.
yeah, like it happens, it goes.
Okay.
And the
that's-
last time I supported a team, it lost.
Okay,
my
so you're a
life-
sore loser, is that what you're saying?
Yes, for this one.
For this one, you're just going to sit out and not put your feelings in there
I'll probably get invested, like.
at some stage?
Yeah. After the first few matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about Argentina's chances?
I don't know. They've always been the team I've wanted to see win,
Yeah.
but they never really have the thing. You know what I mean?
to
Yeah.
Like
to
even
sort
when they have
it
a
out.
team, they act like the tribe.
Yes, that's the final blow, the
Yes.
finishing power, basically. No, I agree. I think they've been haunted by players being bigger than their teams. Then
Exactly.
Maradona, and now
Pressure.
they've
It's
got
the pressure
Messi.
before.
Exactly.
It's the pressure before. You know, I think like the pressure before, like I remember like when we used to play rugby at school, right? Yo, the team before, like, yo, bruh,
Oh, that's
they
true.
were like so awesome. Like, you know, they were like legends, bruh, you know? So when you actually like made first team, you know,
You're in the shadow of this.
like you're in the shadow of
Yeah.
this thing, because like everybody expects, you know, Argentina, you know, to like, you know, even Brazil, I think
That's
also they
true.
had that thing
Brazil's
because
been
like,
suffering since the 2002, basically. This is the last time they won the World Cup.
is it the last time?
Yeah.
Because they had the golden team at the time,
Yes,
right?
before that they had a bunch of wins.
Yeah, they had a bunch of wins,
Yeah.
but then also like that, you know, that whole thing, that pressure, you know,
Yeah.
becomes that like, yo, who are they gonna choose for Brazil? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And
Definitely,
you know,
like-
even the players when they play, like it's not that they're not good players, it's because of the pressure, you know, in pressure.
The pressure and how to put all these stars in a team to play together.
True.
And there's say pressure on themselves and from the outside.
True, bruh.
So I hear you. So on those big teams, I don't know. Germany might be the only big team I will put money on, basically, because they're just so efficient. They've got such good players, young players, older players, doing really well. Thomas Müller still playing. Mario Götze making a return. Remember Mario Götze? He played for Dortmund. He was chubby cheeks, then he went to Bayern Munich, came back. I can't remember, he went to a weird different team and then came back, and he's back again in the German national team. Very good. He was with Royce, Gundogan.
Oh, Gundogan.
That whole era
yeah,
of like team.
Gundogan.
yes,
that
right.
was a
You just
real
hear
good-
from the commentary, Gundogan.
In South Africa, Gundogan.
Gundogan. But it actually sounded like you said Gundogan there. Gundogan.
But yeah, so that was a good area of players. I don't know, the World Cup, other than that, like, I just know that a lot of people are commenting on how weird it is that it's in Qatar, and how weird it is that it's in December. Now the rest of the
It's
world
dope,
is
right?
hating
It's
this.
like-
Exactly. For
yeah.
South Africans, we love it.
Right, we love it
December
because it's
is
like
Ket
it's
December boss.
Ket December boss. It's like summer, dude.
Everything
We're gonna
is
be enjoying the
more lit in
most.
South Africa in
Yeah.
December. So now you add a whole World Cup to it.
When is the World Cup this December?
Now,
Yeah, like end of this
19
month.
November now, in a
That's
few like 3
nice.
days
That's
time,
really nice.
and then ends the 20th of December.
Hey, so when I have Nabrais this December, man.
Yo,
Hey,
so
but we
much
deserve
football
it.
being watched.
We deserve it. We deserve it because, to be honest, don't you think we kept like the entertainment during 2020?
Oh yes, oh yeah. We like as a nation, we took it upon ourselves to entertain everybody,
The world.
the whole world. Like I know, if I met anyone, I was all out to just bring the vibes for them. Like we went to bars, to pubs, to everything to just go watch and interact with people. So that part I love about the World Cup. Just like big spectacles that people can kind of like feel and emote and conversate and communicate about. I love that stuff.
Do you think like the World Cup would ever come back here again?
There's so many countries.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay, if you say ever again, then yes, I agree. It will maybe come back ever. In our lifetimes, maybe not. Maybe when we're super old and we forgot about the previous World Cup,
Yeah.
maybe then only it will come back. Or if South Africa gets some sort of nice oil money or something, I'm sure something could happen. But unfortunately, on that point, the World Cup bidding process has been such a weird thing. Qatar got it. They built like 10 new stadiums with a lot of questionable ethics around like workers and visas. Let's not get into that too heavily. But South Africa got it. There was a few rumors about Sepp Blatter, the then president of FIFA, and South African officials greasing each other's palms. A lot of bribing allegedly happening. I like that allegedly word. So yeah, I don't know. The bidding process does need to become a bit more transparent
Yeah.
and a little bit less greasy. I feel. Because a lot of people, like, the World Cup hasn't even started, and my Twitter timeline is full of like hate for the World Cup already. It's full of like, what is this? This is the World Cup before it even started, and it's just a lot of like, I just want to watch the football and have fun. But unfortunately, we do live in a world full of information, and we can't be blind to what actually happens. On the, let's see, we're on sport. This one of the biggest fights that happened in the last while, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. In South Africa we say Pereira. In
Where's
Brazil,
he from, Pereira?
Yeah, he's from Brazil. In Brazil they say Alex Pereira. I don't even know, I'm not going to try that, I'm just going to stop there. So,
Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira, maybe, yeah. So Pereira took on Adesanya for the World Middleweight Championship of the UFC or whatever, and beat Adesanya. So that was Adesanya's 5th possible title defense of this middleweight title, and he lost in the 5th round against Alex Pereira. So it was a great fight. I would say Adesanya was probably leading on points from round 1 to round 4, plus minus. Adesanya got his first takedown in the UFC ever. First takedown. So shows that he's really been working on his grappling, his takedowns, his wrestling. He's been saying that he was working on it. Now he showed it. He also mentioned afterwards, I watched the podcast where he spoke about that in the first round he actually got kicked in his, they call it the perennial nerve, I think. So it's the nerve like there, in the back, right? Or like something where it switches off the function of your foot. So what happens, your foot can walk normally, but when that happens, your foot goes limp. So he was walking around with less function in his one foot for most of the fight. So that was something that really stopped him from being mobile as he usually is, but still carried on the fight really well. And also that stopped his takedown ability, because you need your feet to be fully mobile to be able to take someone down to that strength, because you're fighting against someone that's super strong.
So you couldn't step with his other leg?
Exactly.
Like
so that
step on it proper, or what?
Yes, he couldn't give full weight on it. So because there wasn't full control of that leg or of that ankle / foot specifically.
Yeah.
So that was a big challenge. But Pereira then in the 5th round, the last round, so that's the championship round, he had Adesanya. He did a leg again, blocked a leg kick. That got Adesanya a bit wobbled, and Pereira just gave him a bunch of heavy shots, with good combinations, and the ref stopped it. Some say it was an early stoppage. I'm happy when a fight gets stopped early. I don't want to see any fighters get super long-term damage because of a ref taking too long.
No.
So that was the biggest fight.
So people can really get hurt. Like,
bro, you can die.
Yeah.
You can die. Like UFC fighters and MMA fighters say that they do kind of know that they can die from this sport. That's why they speak about fighter pay. That's why health insurance, life insurance, these kind of things are actually super necessary. And that's something that the fighters are fighting for when it comes to those things, is you are putting your life on the line. And it feels like a lot of fighting institutions and organizations don't really pay their fighters enough. That's quite a big sticking point. So that was quite a big fight. There was another big fight, was Michael Chandler against Dustin Poirier. They say, a lot of people say, one of the fights of this year. It was amazing. Both of them trained together before, for a big chunk of their professional lives, at ATT in Florida. Or Miami, I'm not sure, they're somewhere. So they trained together a lot, so to fight against each other, it was a really close fight. You saw Chandler coming out the first round like a banshee, just shots on shots and just going all out. Poirier's got an amazing chin, so he weathered the storm. Second round came through. He was defending some grappling brought on by Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler hasn't grappled since he got into the UFC. He relies mostly on his stand-up, but for this fight, he had to tap into that for the second round. Then Poirier came back the third round. Amazing turnaround, and actually did a submission, I think it was a choke, a rear naked choke on Michael Chandler. Correct me if I'm wrong, we'll see in the comments. But yeah, so those were my two main fights for this past UFC 281. Amazing card. Now what I'm excited for coming up is UFC 283. That is the card where two South Africans are on. We spoke about it last time. We will post about it, see what we can do to support our South African fighters. It's Dricus du Plessis fighting on the main card. You've got your main fight, the one before that, Dricus is on the third one, like the second fight before the main fight, so amazing stuff. And then his protege, Dricus fights in the middleweight division. His protege, Cameron Simon, is going to fight in his first professional fight, so excited to see him perform. They call him the, I don't know, the protege or something like that. He's got a weird nickname. And Dana White's excited to see his performance, so let's all see how it goes. On the UFC, good stuff. I also heard something interesting. Dricus du Plessis, his gym, they've got a bunch of savages coming through the ranks, not even into the UFC now. They're fighting in the EFC. His cousin or brother fought a week ago, and apparently this guy was like a head shorter than the guy he fought against, and he just demolished him. So there's some savages coming out of that gym. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm going to be watching a bit more EFC to make sure that I can connect with the local fighters to see what happens in our own fighting federation.
Hey bro, quick question.
Yeah?
Would you rather have a head size of a tennis ball or a size of a watermelon?
I would say the size of a watermelon. I would like if you have a head size of it. Like I was speaking about the head, like this one here on top. Okay, cool. Then I'd say watermelon because it's important. Like if you've got a tennis-sized head, then how little brain do you have? I'm just saying.
Well, it's not the bigger your brain, the smarter you are.
I hear you, but I'd rather want more space in my brain for more shitty thoughts.
But guys, these days size doesn't matter.
That's what they tell you.
In technology.
Yes, technology.
Or, get this, would you rather stump your toe or get a paper cut?
Stump my toe. Because I do it every day, at least 3 times a day, I guess. Maybe twice. Yeah.
Okay. And then this one,
Okay.
think about it carefully. Would you rather live in Jurassic Park or an episode of The Walking Dead?
Oh, that's a tough one.
They're all gonna eat you.
Okay. So it depends on what season of Walking Dead you're speaking of. Because like season 1, 2, 3, and 4, the zombies were quite slow and the people were not as dramatic.
Yeah.
So like season 1, 2, 3, 4 I can do. But Jurassic Park, I want to live with dinosaurs. I want to domesticate a T-Rex. I want to like chill with raptors. Exactly. Like I want to see. Yeah, no, I'm down. Jurassic Park's the one.
Park.
I love that stuff. Even though I'm hella scared of big animals.
Yeah.
Let's just see. I'd rather live on the wild side.
Oh, and then like, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, right?
Okay.
But like, Mike Tyson
Oh yeah.
and his cannabis business.
Oh yeah.
He's got a cannabis business.
Bro, like Mike Tyson, the guy who bit the ear, literally moved from that to like...
Well, let's just rephrase. Mike Tyson, the guy who is a world champion heavyweight boxer, put some respect on his name. And then there was this little blemish at some stage where he mistook Evander Holyfield's ear for his own gum guard, is what they said officially. No, this is a conspiracy, I just made it up. But basically, he bit Evander Holyfield's ear. That's the whole thing about biting his ear off. That happened to Evander Holyfield. Why did you bring it up, Jay?
Basically because, like, since then, you remember, like, they started making fun of him when he came back. Because he was Nice Mike.
Yes.
And then they didn't know why he was nice.
He was High Nice Mike.
Yes.
We knew that now.
Yes.
We found that out afterwards, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So him, I forgot the guy's name that he was fighting with.
Evander Holyfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have one of 2 products, but the one that we're talking about is Holy Ears. Holy ears.
Holy ears.
Holy ears.
So they have a kush named Holy Ears.
Yes.
So they made
Is it a-
so they
is it a-
collaborated. So they collaborated on a bud together. Oh,
It's
what?
like-
Is it a bud or is it like an edible?
It's an edible holy
What?
ears.
Really?
Yes, let me
Is
show you.
it an edible in the shape of an ear?
So the-
Because I would eat that.
Also, they made peace. Did you make peace quite a while back or what?
They did. I mean, obviously, Evander Holyfield realized that money is more important than hate, and Mike Tyson has been doing so well in business that obviously there were some conversations and they reconciled. And
But
I think it's kinda cool.
he didn't just buy the piece of? Was it a big piece that he bought of? his ear?
Apparently, it was a piece, but in the
Yes.
movies we just see a whole ear getting missing and
It's literally-
being
Oh,
It's
damn.
literally here missing a
That's
piece.
really
Now,
dope
question
marketing.
to you guys.
Can I start?
Right?
Yes.
Question
Oh,
to you
sure.
guys, like, would you say would you say that's basically cannibalism? Cannibalism? Yeah. That's all.
Nah,
I
I think
don't
it was
think
just aggro, bruh. Aggro.
Wait, in this situation.
Yeah, I
when
think
you
maybe it
did
was.
that-
It was, a tough situation, but also,
They said it was cocaine. Allegedly. Oh shit.
But you can't. How can you?
What?
What do you
You
mean?
do
How
this.
can you? I mean, like, don't they test the fighters
At
before?
some stage they do.
Yeah, at some stage.
Yeah, it's boxing.
But for a 60 million rand fight,
Yeah, they'd rather prefer him being himself, Like, let's not un-Mike Mike. you know?
Yes, yes.
So, but I'm very happy to see Mike Tyson as like a evolved person, moving into a different generation of his own evolution. Because he's 50 something, I think, or
Yes.
40 something. No offense. But he was an absolute monster. He needed to be in a specific frame of mind. I watched the Joe Rogan interview with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson said that before the fighting restarted again recently, where he did like that one fight, he actually said he doesn't want to exercise because when he exercises, his brain goes naturally into that competitive mode, and he doesn't like the person that he is when he does that. So that's why when you see him on podcasts and stuff, he's busy munching like handfuls of mushrooms.
who?
Mike Tyson, have you not seen it?
No.
Insert clip right here. Mike Tyson on Impulsive, he ate a handful, like for all 5 minutes. He was on the interview not being able to speak because he was trying to digest
The
amounts
shrooms.
of mushrooms. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So